What's up, guys? We're back with another Bears Now joint preview. Joey O'Donohue hopped on with me, and we broke down Bears versus Browns. We'll get to all that analysis coming up in just a second. Couple things I wanted to mention here. Keep an eye on a couple players on the injury report over the next couple of days. Rome Odunze, Tyrique Stevenson, Olamide Zaccheaus, all limited in Thursday's practice. So depending on when you're watching this, could have more clarity with the Friday injury report. But if you're watching, Friday morning and that hasn't come out, or it's Saturday, whatever the case may be, keep an eye on that. I think Rome and Tyrique specifically, we'll see if they return for this game. Before we get to this preview with my guy Joey O, if you want the Bears to get win number 10 and obviously put themselves in good position for the playoffs, hit that like button. Got to beat the Browns. Ben Johnson said it. This is a huge game for the Bears. Got to get this one. So hit that thumbs up icon and stay tuned for our Bears-Browns preview. All right, we are back with another joint preview. I'm Harrison Graham from Chicago Bears Now. That is Joey O'Donohue from the Cleveland Browns Report. This preview episode is going to go on both channels. Joey, excited to do this. Going to be a really cold game at Soldier Field this Sunday. The Bears a healthy 7.5-point favorite. That's a small over-under, 38.5 points, as the Bears obviously in must-win mode for their playoff hopes. And for the Browns, evaluation time. Shedeur Sanders named the starter for the rest of the season, not playing for playoff positioning, obviously. But let's start there. I mean, Shedeur, obviously, polarizing player, has shown some good things. There's been some ups, been some downs. But for both audiences watching, what have you seen from Shedeur so far, and what are some things you're looking to see the rest of the season, including in this game on Sunday?
Yeah, Harry, appreciate you having me on, man. To be honest, I saw a lot of positives in that Titans game from Shedeur Sanders. A lot is improving game to game, and I think that's what you can ask for at this point within the Cleveland Browns system and organization, is just show flashes right now heading into next year. And I'm seeing those flashes from Shedeur Sanders, specifically against Tennessee. Deep ball was there, accuracy. I mean, there were long completions that we have not seen on the Cleveland Browns season all season long. I think there's no question he's the best quarterback on the roster at the moment. Way better than Dylan Gabriel as a starter so far. He had the 60-yard dot to Jerry Jeudy. His best throw, I thought, was on the sideline to Harold Fannin Jr., and even the Bears coaches were bringing that up, Harry. I mean, Ben Johnson calling him a dangerous player. Dennis Allen says Shedeur presents significant challenges, and so his footwork's getting better, right? They say that he holds on to the ball too long, but actually in that Titans game, what we saw, him holding it was him extending plays, right? He held the ball 3.57 seconds. That's the second longest by a quarterback in any game this season. But he was pressured on 63% of his dropbacks by the Titans. That's the highest pressure rate of any defense in a game this season. His ability now to get out of the pocket, extend plays, buy time, keep his eyes downfield, I'm seeing a lot of positives, specifically in his ability to extend plays and start getting that ball out.
Yeah, I mean, that's something Ben Johnson talked about, the dangerous player quote, but obviously his ability to extend and get out of trouble. He's not like a Lamar Jackson, even a Caleb Williams in terms of raw athleticism and speed, but he can get out of dodge, he can make plays, he can extend drives with his legs, looking to throw once he gets on the run. I think if you are the Bears this week, that rush lane integrity and not letting him drift and kind of get out of the pocket. Like if I'm Dennis Allen, I'm forcing him to try and get rid of the ball sooner and not letting him escape those situations. And the Bears, Joey, do not generate a lot of consistent pressure anyway, so I wouldn't be too focused on trying to sack Shedeur Sanders 5 times. What I would be focused on is don't let him extend these plays. Don't over pursue inside and let him bounce outside. So I think that'll be a key. I think also for Cleveland, Joey, just to kind of flip the script, talking about Caleb Williams, his sack avoidance this year. I mean, this is like the ultimate rubber meets the road. His sack rate is very low this year, which has been a big improvement, talking about Caleb Williams this year. But Myles Garrett on the other side, 20 sacks through 13 games. So that'll be fascinating. Ben Johnson's going to have a plan. And even Caleb said it this week, Joey, that, yeah, he's probably going to break the record, but we hope it's not this week. So that's going to be something to watch for this year, because at this point in the year, if you're Myles Garrett, you're chasing individual success. Like the team's not going anywhere in terms of playoffs. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he's able to get Caleb to the ground once or twice.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Harry. I mean, to your point, Myles leading the league in sacks. He's got 20, 3 away from breaking the NFL single-season sack record. It's remarkable. I don't think this is going to be a Caleb Williams games here this Sunday. I mean, with the wind chill that we sort of talked about a bit off camera, it might be up to negative 20 at some point. And the Browns' passing defense, I don't know if a lot of people know, they're actually ranked first in the NFL in terms of passing yards given up per game. It's the run defense that has started to slide for Cleveland. I mean, they got gashed by Tony Pollard, man. And so I'm expecting a lot more of Swift and Monungai to start running against the Browns. And Caleb, I would take the less on his passing yards, to be honest here.
Yeah, and to be honest, if I'm the Bears and I'm approaching this game, like, just where they're at in the season, what the weather is, the matchup of this game, I think Malik Collins is a player that the Browns are really missing, especially in their run defense. I think that proved to be the case last week. I mean, obviously, Bears fans are dying for that big 350-yard passing game from Caleb Williams at this point in the season, but you're not going to get great conditions the rest of the way. Like, you're 9-4, you're playing for playoff positioning. Do what makes sense to win that game. And to your point, X and O's wise, to attack Cleveland, it already makes sense to run the football. But especially when it's going to be sub-zero in the wind chill temperatures, Kyle Monungai, DeAndre Swift, we saw what Tony Pollard was able to do against Cleveland last week. I think both of the Bears runners are just as good, if not better, and Monungai is a physical runner. I saw Jim Schwartz today said, I got a lot of respect for that kid with how hard he runs. Browns fans, keep an eye on number 25, the rookie running back out of Rutgers. He is a physical thumper. Last week he had a run against the Packers where he lowered his shoulder and had a helmet-to-helmet contact with one of the Packers linebackers. It chipped the guy's helmet. That's how hard of a collision it was. He's been quite a story for the Bears, and to your point, if I'm Chicago, I'm running the rock until the Browns prove they can stop it.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing I'll say that worries me on the other side, though, Harry, I mean, what I'm seeing is the Bears' defense leads the league in interceptions and takeaways. And the one thing about Shedeur, to bring it back to the Browns quarterback for a second here, he has thrown 3 interceptions in 3.5 games. There will be at least one rookie mistake with him that I've seen from game to game. And look, he knows about it. He's unfazed. He comes right back out there and starts slinging it again, which I love about number 12. However, there will be a moment where he just wants to make a play so bad, Harry, that he is holding on to it, and then he'll just uncork it when there's nothing there, and it gets picked off. So I am a little concerned here about him turning it over once more.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears' defense has kind of been feast or famine. They lead the NFL in interceptions. They lead the NFL in takeaways. They also give up a lot of yards and points, so they're kind of reliant on those turnovers. And I do think, given how cold, how windy it's going to be, to your point, if the Bears can slow down Quinshon Judkins, who we'll talk about a little bit more in a minute, and force Shedeur into some 3rd and longs, he's going to give you a chance or two. Like, he just is. He's not afraid to take a chance. So the Bears have feasted on those opportunities this year, and you got to take advantage of those this Sunday. Plenty more to come, but you guys weigh in on the show, whether you're watching on Bears Now or the Browns Report. Who you got winning, and what is the score going to be? Bears versus Browns. Give us your score predictions down in the comment section below. All right, let's tell you about our sponsor real quick, and then we'll get back to the preview. It is PrizePicks, and it is the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. We're talking bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once, and while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, which game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right. That is PrizePicks. Awesome new feature alert. PrizePicks now has early payouts. If your lineup gets off to a hot start, you may now have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. What does a PrizePicks lineup look like? Well, it's at least 2 players up to 6, and you take more or less on the stat projections available, regardless of sport. You can cross over sports in your lineup. This is a 3-player lineup I've got right here. Caleb Williams, half a touchdown pass. That's a goblin play. Easier to hit. I think he'll throw for at least 1 touchdown, so I took the more there. Also took more on DJ Moore, receiving yards, 33.5. They need to get him going. And then I took more on Shedeur Sanders' pass attempts as well. I think the Browns fall behind in this game, which will force Cleveland to throw the football more. $20 lineup to win $65 right there. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use our code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Let's circle back to Quinshon Judkins. This is a player we talked about on Bears Now a lot in the pre-draft process. There was a lot of buzz that the Bears were interested in Ashton Jeanty, perhaps Quinshon Judkins, Trayvon Henderson. We talked about Kyle Monungai, who's ended up being a steal in the 7th round, but I like how Judkins is run too, Joey. I mean, I know the yards per carry hasn't been great. The Browns have had some offensive line issues, especially when Dylan Gabriel was in there. They were able to just kind of tee off on the run because he's not much of a vertical passing threat. That's changed a little bit with Shedeur, but what have you seen from Judkins? And you would think in this game, given the weather elements, he's probably going to get 20-plus carries unless they fall way behind.
Yeah, it's a good topic to bring up. I mean, Judkins has everything you want in a running back right now, what I'm seeing. It's vision, it's power, he runs angry, and he gets fired up after big runs. I mean, it's the spark that Cleveland has needed on offense for years now, quite frankly. They're starting to call him Nick Chubb 2.0. We're almost there. But love what I'm seeing with him running the football. To your point, though, his yards per carry has been on the decline as of lately. But I actually think that's a result of teams are figuring this thing out, right? Cleveland doesn't have great pass protection. They know that Quinshon Judkins is going to beat you if you let him, so they're trying to make our young quarterbacks beat you. Judkins is facing 8+ defenders in the box, more than any other running back in the National Football League right now. They're stacking it against him, and so that's why you're starting to see this decline. Last week against Tennessee, he averaged 1.9 yards per carry. Didn't give much help. Shedeur was the leading rusher last Sunday for the Cleveland Browns, and so I would love this to be another healthy Quinshon Judkins game. You would think so with the wind chill, but I have a feeling that the Bears are going to do what teams have been doing the past couple weeks, and that's just simply account for Quinshon Judkins, make Shedeur have to beat you.
Yeah, if I'm Dennis Allen, I'm bringing an extra body in the box, especially given these weather conditions. Shedeur doesn't have the biggest arm, so hey, bring a safety down, play some man coverage, see if he can beat you. If he does a couple times early, you'll have to adjust off of that. But I really do think, Joey, that, Bears more to play for, coming off a tough loss, Packers next week, coming back home, weather elements in this favor. This is one of those games, Joey, where we've both watched the NFL for many, many years. Sometimes you see a team tap out in a game like this. If it gets ugly early for the Browns, they're down 10 at halftime or something, it's freezing cold. This could be a tap out spot. So I'll be curious to see how motivated Cleveland is to play in this game in these conditions. There's always something to play for, especially for the younger guys, but some of these vets, it's just man, here we go again. We're down again. This weather sucks. Just get me out of here. So I think if you're the Bears, you try and jump on Cleveland early, and if you're the Browns, trying to just mentally stay in the fight in the first half, I think is going to be critical to keeping this game close.
Yeah, and to be quite honest with you, I think we started to see a little bit of that last week against the Titans. It might have been the worst defensive performance I've seen from a Browns defense that has been great all year long up until that point. You surrendered 31 to Tennessee, man. It was crazy. To your point, Malik Collins, it's a big loss for the Cleveland Browns defense this year. And total defense, they're still ranked second at this point, only behind the Texans, I believe, who have an incredible defense, is what we've been watching all year long. And so it is going to be a tough test, and it's one of those games where the Bears fighting for something. Cleveland, they might be looking ahead to the NFL draft right now, but the players, and to your point at the start of this video, it's still an evaluation period in these next 4 games. Shedeur's going to go out there with plenty to prove. Yep. He's not going to sit down. Myles Garrett, you still see him frustrated on the sideline when the Cleveland's losing these games, and he's chasing a record for himself. And so the Browns will come to play. I wouldn't write them off. A lot of people probably think, oh, it's the Browns, it's a free win. Not necessarily with how good their defense has been.
I've said it for weeks, this is the easiest game left on the Bears' schedule, but Myles Garrett can wreck a game by himself. Shedeur Sanders has given them some life offensively. Like, it's not like they have no talent whatsoever. So, I expect a focused effort from the Bears. Kevin Byard said they don't believe in trap games. I think coming off a loss kind of eliminates that angle anyway. And even though they're 9-4, the Bears are the 7th seed in the NFC playoff picture. Wow. So, like, they got to win probably at least 2 of these final 4 to secure a playoff spot. And if they want to win the division, they probably got to win 3 out of 4. And if you're going to do that, certainly beating the Browns is something you're going to have to do. All right, one other just minor topic I wanted to hit on. Tevin Jenkins, former Bear, that was kind of a decision this offseason. Do you bring him back? Do you not? They didn't. And I was shocked he didn't land a starting job somewhere. But he is starting now. He started last week. Is that still the expectation to start this week given the injuries up front?
Yeah, that's going to be the case. Wyatt Teller already ruled out They're saying it's kind of a soft benching. I won't lie to you, Harry. At the right guard spot.
The best and worst phrase in the NFL this season, soft benching.
They started rotating him in and out of the Niners game, and then he got hurt later in the Niners game. Now he's officially missed the Titans game, and he's already ruled out for this one against Chicago. So your old friend Tevin Jenkins will be making the appearance at right guard. Jack Conklin's questionable as well, so the right side could continue to look a little bit different for Cleveland.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see how he plays. I always said when Tevin's healthy, he's a good player, but he's had a litany of injuries over the years. All right, before we get out of here, you got a score prediction for us?
Ooh, okay. Well, let me also just say I have a lot of respect for Bears fans. You know,
Okay.
I do think that the Browns and the Bears, guys, we've endured some of the most improbable losses, the closest losses in probably NFL history. So I feel like we share that bond, and
we should be inspiration for you guys. Like, it can turn around.
Yeah, look at this. I mean, look, you guys are making a push here now, and so I would love to pick Cleveland. I think it could still be close going into the 4th, but I'll take Chicago 23-17.
Okay, I'll go Bears 27-17. I do think 38.5. I think we'll see a little more action than that, but man, it's going to be cold if you're going to this game. Bundle up. All right, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Browns fans, keep up to date with Joey every single day. New videos up on the Browns Report. Obviously, new videos here every day as well on Bears Now, so subscribe to whatever channel you're watching on. We'll see you guys soon.